Alright, what's up, Wolfpack? Got the first recorded set of the day. We're back to leg extensions. We got 30 pounds on the machine, so I'm just gonna rip out my warm-up set. And then hopefully I got some stuff to talk to you guys about. Alright. Okay. We'll bring it straight up to 190 for now. For your stuff to talk about, I'm not really super, I'm just not really prepared. Just don't got much to talk about. In terms of how my life's been pretty good. Yesterday I finished my housing stuff, so now I should be getting a different place to live out here, which I'm really happy with. My bum ass roommate. I'm gonna be gone from him. You know, no offense to the guy, but you know, you really stink up the place. And honestly, I'm happy I'm gonna be leaving the dorm hall in general. Like that entire place smells. You know, some of the people there are cool. I don't really talk to anybody. Maybe because I'm a little bit negative when I'm in my dorm. In the dorm hall. But, you know, I'm happy I'm going to be gone. And it should be cheaper. So, like, it's a double win. But I've also heard it's probably one of the worst spots for internet. So, not super excited for that. But I think it's more positive than negative. You know, outside of today, I had to take 2 tests, 2 quizzes. The tests, I think, went okay. You know, I think I could have prepared for them a little better. I think I could have, for my accounting, I could have probably just reviewed the content. And then for my philosophy test, I think I could have just, I also could have just, you know, reinforced some of the studying I already did for that. But overall, I still think I'm getting, I would say probably mid to high 80s on those. I'm not really worried about failing them. I felt pretty confident. Out of the 2, I'm a lot more confident on the accounting one. And then the quizzes, the one I took for my intro to business class, that I got a 14 out of 15, so pretty good there. And then the pre-lab quiz, I should get 100 on that. It doesn't tell me the results instantly like the business quiz, but it'd be kind of sad if I got a point off. So overall, not bad in terms of grades. And today's overall just been a pretty great day. I'll talk more about it, but I do want to get this first set over with for now. We got 190 on the machine, going to failure. If we do more than 10, as per usual, we'll go up and wait, and we'll go from there. All right. I'm gonna try. If I put these lifting straps on, am I gonna be a little bit more braced? I want to see. Maybe it'll even be something like placebo. Overall, good set right there. I don't think me wrapping my lifting straps around him did anything. Didn't really expect them to. But I still got about 16 in. So we are going up in weight. We'll throw it on 205. And if you watch the video I made on Monday, you guys would know how I talked about in my law class and in my lab. I usually feel pretty useless because I'm not the. It's really, I struggle to get my voice out there, get my opinion. But some good news for me. I actually did something in my lab. What can I say? Me, coolest person in the world, helping out, So overall, I'm in a really great mood from that. I literally just finished this probably an hour ago since this. So overall, pretty happy with it. One thing I've kind of stuck with is that you should really, kind of brag about your achievements. You work, you probably did some work to get that achievement, so why not brag about it? And, some people might call it egotistical, which I also call it egotistical. But I think it does a lot more for you mentally to feel great about your achievements than to be humble and not care. So if you want any advice for today, brag about your achievements, because you'll probably feel better mentally. And although I do say this, one line I've always said is, be egotistical, but be aware. And what my kind of mindset behind that is just, similar to what I just said, brag about your achievements, but understand what you could do better and people who have done it better. Like, I don't know, let's say I was a millionaire right now. I'll brag about being a millionaire because, I'm considered successful at that point. But, there's Elon Musk who easily beats, my millionaire status, as he's almost in the trillions at this point. He got the $1 trillion deal a while back. So, like, he's way more successful than I am in this hypothetical. But, I'd still brag about me being a millionaire. I'm still, did something more than someone who doesn't have $1 million. And I say that goes for everything. If you're on the leaderboard for a game, brag about being on that leaderboard, because there's probably someone below you. But then understand that there's also probably people above you. Like, for rare cases like Elon Musk, no one's richer than him as of right now. Maybe all time, maybe different, like adjusting to inflation. But as of right now, no one's richer than him. So you just be egotistical in that way. I think as long as you keep that, egotistical is more of a good thing than a bad thing. Anyways, I'm going to rip out this last set, and then I'll go to the next exercise. Got 205 on the machine. If we do more than 10, I'm going to move it up for next time, and then we'll go from there. All right. Okay. I would say I pushed myself harder on that second set than the third. But we did do more than 10. So we'll probably go to 215 tomorrow. And then I'll turn back on the camera for the next exercise. All right, what's up, Wolfpack? We got bicep curls, and I'll probably go straight into tricep push down. Call it a day after that for the recording. But as per usual, I don't have much to talk about in the warm-up. So I'm going to go straight into the warm-up set. We got 17 and a half pounds on the cable. Just a warm up, so we'll just do however many I feel like, and then we'll go into the first failure, and hopefully I got stuff to talk about. All right. Change this weight, go straight to 52 and a half pounds. One thing I love about doing these bicep curls is because I have such like a wide waist, I can kind of like dig my arms into like my midsection, and it almost makes it like a preacher curl in a sense. Like I wouldn't say it's as restricting or stable as a preacher curl, but compared to a regular curl where my arms are my elbows are just in the air, I guess, it's a lot more stable. And big fan of that. One thing I kind of want to try at some point is like a cable preacher curl almost, because the only reason I stick with cable, my cable machines, is just because there's tension throughout the entire range of motion. When you're doing dumbbells, really the hardest part is like this 90-degree angle. Like let's just say you're doing a regular curl. Like this is where you're really gonna feel it, because gravity's pulling all that weight down. But like right here to here, I wouldn't say there's crazy tension, and up here, like here to here, no tension at all. There's barely anything. I don't know too much about, but I feel like I hit my forearms more when I'm up here on the curl than I actually hit my bicep. Actually, I don't know, because now thinking about it, when you're up here with the cable, I mean it's a similar thing. I would think. So you know what? Let's not think that was the smartest take in the world. Boom. You just saw me rescind what I'm talking about. But I do prefer them. I would say that, but I think I need to question it a little bit more. And then I also just find them a little bit more fun than dumbbells. I feel like it's a lot more easy to set up, at least for me. Some people might just prefer just picking up a pair of dumbbells. But I feel like it's a lot easier to set up, and it's a little bit easier to overload. But these Bayesian curl, still a big fan of. Although I am considering switching them, either that or this curl. Because I like I said, I do want to try like a preacher curl. Maybe I'll just throw a bench near a cable and call it there. But like that would be awesome. Yesterday I was talking about a bunch of machines that I'd love to try, and one I would love to have is like a preacher curl machine. The Planet Fitness I go to has one. I'm not a big fan of it though. I find where my arms kind of rest a little awkward compared to just a regular preacher curl, no cable or machine. But I think it's better than no preacher curl machine. So overall, I'm open to trying it. I'm open really in general to changing my bicep workouts. My main things I'm really open to in terms of like lifts. Well, I'm open to everything, I should say. But like my triceps, my biceps, definitely my forearms, and then probably my abs, because I don't hit them at all. And maybe shoulder. Shoulder, I'm also super open, because I also rarely hit them. I usually find that my shoulder is hit enough. But like back, I'm a little bit like stuck with the big three, which is my lat pull down, barbell or T-bar row, and then machine row. And then, you know, I've tried like Kelso shrugs. I feel like when I tried Kelso shrugs, I feel like my I'm not really doing the form right. But I am open to Kelso shrugs. Kelso shrugs, you know, I've heard a lot of great things about them. So I would definitely be open to doing them. Anyways, I'm talking like way too much right now. So I'm gonna go straight into the first failure set, 52.5 pounds. If we do more than 10, we'll go up. If not, we'll stick with this for the last set. I don't think I got 10 there. I low-key lost count after like 4, but I counted 9. So maybe I missed a couple throughout there. I'll probably go back when I'm compiling the clips. I'll probably go back and count it out. Or honestly, I probably won't. I'm gonna be honest. You know, usually I kind of just rip it through and ship it out, which I don't know, maybe isn't the best for the overall quality of the video, but it makes it easy for me. And you know, I kind of prefer it kind of being unedited. I feel like you get a more authentic me. You know, you get to see me not know what to talk about. You know, I'm usually a big fan of edited content for what I watch. Like, actually, I shouldn't say edited. I like well-cut content. Like, when I think of editing, I'm thinking of like those Discord videos back in like 2020. But like, a lot of the content I watch right now is either like high quality animation, or well, I don't even know if animation's the right word for this, but like it's like a high quality production, I guess, or a gaming video with a bunch of clips from like a stream that are just compiled. Those are probably the two biggest categories of videos that I watch. Like one creator that I love to watch, who I've been watching a lot more recently than anyone else right now, probably PGE. He's a Overwatch creator, which is why I wanted to get back into Overwatch, and Deadlock, because he also has a couple Deadlock videos. But I find him to just be a really good personality on the edited video, or well, the cut up videos. I'm not really the person to watch streams, so I don't know what he's like on stream too well. But like that kind of editing where it's more just like funny clips edited into like one concise video, really. That's more kind of my flow. But I feel like I get a little bit more personal when it's unedited. And that's kind of why I prefer this. You know, one of the things I love about this channel is that you kind of get a really raw version of me. You know, I think when I'm around a lot of people, I really play more of a different person than I am on here or by myself. And I think I kind of get to take off that mask in a sense when I'm out with you guys and just by myself. And I kind of prefer it, you know. I feel like I get a little bit more deep, a little bit more introspective, and, you know, it helps me reflect. You know, one time after I recorded one of the home gym videos, I was telling my mom how a lot of these videos are very like therapeutic, because I feel like I kind of just get my mind out there, and, you know, kind of get the, instead of kind of bottling what I want to say, which is what I usually do, not really conversate about it, I get to speak at a wall basically, and then you guys just consume it. And, you know, I'm really a big fan of it. You know, it's a little, I'll be real, it's a little uncomfortable, you know, bringing a camera everywhere. But, you know, I feel a lot better after the fact, because I feel like I really got everything I wanted to get out. You know, every once in a while, I feel like there's some things that, like, I either could have said differently, could have probably elaborated more on, or some things I just didn't say at all that I wish I said. But I think that's why it's such like a raw piece of me, because, you know, you really get to see me for the mess ups, I guess. It's the best way to put it as of right now. And, you know, I think it's a little bit better. I think we should kind of push more of a YouTube where it's a little less unedited, a little bit more deep. You know, I think a lot of internet personalities now, they kind of play a character, and I think that character kind of does more negative than positive. You know, it might be good for the viewership, but it does a lot mentally that could be really taxing on them. And that's why I think a lot of people have a lot of burnout. Anyways, once again, actually this is like a classic line at this point for me, but I feel like I'm talking too much. Anyways, I'm gonna rip out this last set. Same weight, 52.5 pounds, I think. Yeah. And we'll try and go for 10. If not, we'll stick with this next time and then go on to the next exercise. All right. Okay. That's it for now. I am going to go straight into tricep exercise, so you guys will see a pretty quick transition, or well, a really similar camera angle. But I'm going to rest a little bit, think of some more thoughts to talk about, and I'll turn back on the camera when I'm ready. All right. You guys notice anything different? I'll be real. I don't think you really shouldn't notice much. You know, the only difference, maybe the camera angle. You know, I did pick up the camera last time I had it turned on, and then where the cable is. But, you know, if you said anything different than that, you're low-key making shit up. Anyways, we got a warm-up set, 17.5 pounds, tricep push down, do however many I feel like, and then we'll go from there. I really need to moisturize my hands. Low-key hurts to move my hands at the bottom of this. I feel like I'm like shedding skin. Alright. Alright. We'll move it straight up to 67.5 pounds. No joke intended. Can we? I would edit the video, but don't really feel like doing that. I'd throw the kid who made the immaculate freestyle of stop saying 6'7". It's 2026. I really recommend the video if you haven't watched it. And then he also has a video of him doing the Rakai dance, which I threw a GIF of in one of my videos. I couldn't tell you which one, but I did throw it in one of them. Probably the most, or one of the highest edited parts of my content journey, which doesn't lead too great into the thing I wanted to talk about. But one thing I thought about while the camera was off was, the negative effects of social media. I'm very hypocritical, I guess, because I'm making a YouTube video about it. But I couldn't tell you the exact numbers on this, but I'm pretty sure there's a chart out there that shows a spiked rate in depression levels in teenagers, which correlates similarly to the usage of social media platforms such as like Instagram, Facebook, YouTube. I mean, Twitter, I wouldn't say too much, but Twitter definitely is a part of it. I don't know, maybe MySpace, probably not, but there's been I'm pretty sure there was a big spike, and I really think it's because a lot of people kind of live their life through the content they see. Like, I think, especially when we were in quarantine for COVID, a lot of the stuff we would see online, since we really couldn't go outside much, we kind of lived the experiences of the videos we were watching. And I think, it's the dopamine rush that you get from living that experience virtually really isn't a positive thing for you. You notice, you watch the content, or you view the content in some way, and you kind of immerse yourself in the content. And once that content's finished, you either go on to the next video and kind of have like a big shock and immersion, or you go on to your day and have another shock and immersion when you're back to real life. And I think that's really the key reason why that chart has depression rates so high, because people will immerse themselves so far into a video that they almost lose a sense of where they are. At the start and at the end, it may not seem like it, but some people get so invested into a piece of content that you low-key forget about time. And I think that goes for a lot more than just social media in general. I'd say, gaming, TV shows, which is very similar to social media, but a lot less streamlined, I guess. Or not streamlined, I think that's the wrong word for this. But a lot less prominent in today's age. But, I I really think if you're struggling mentally, you know, maybe you feel like you don't really know what you're doing, and you kind of feel behind. I would say best thing to do is get off social media for at least a month, and you know, really reflect on your life, understand who you are as a person, understand why you think you are lost, and hold yourself accountable for what you're going to do in the future to change it. And I think social media, the only reason I would say get off of social media when you're in that situation is because you distract yourself with this immersion. And then once you have that shock of immersion where you go from one POV to the next, it really doesn't help you in terms of dopamine. But then again, this is just my thoughts. No, I mean, maybe there's some evidence about this, but I'm going more based off of my words with no real evidence. So, you know, if you have evidence to suggest that I'm wrong, please let me know so I can be a little bit more informed. You know, at the end of the day, you gotta learn to be open to critique. I think it's one thing that'll help you along your path. Anyways, I'm gonna get this first failure set going. See, I want to say that the line, but I'm also low-key, you know, becoming a broken record at this point. So I'm not gonna say it. We got 57.5 pounds. Wait, I lied. 67.5 pounds. I was questioning that because I was pretty sure I said a higher number than 57. But yeah, we got 67.5 pounds. We'll rep it out. If we get more than 10, we'll go up in weight. If not, we're ending this off on 67.5 pounds. All right. I'll be real, I don't think I went to true failure there. You know, I didn't feel too happy when I moved that weight back up. But I think I pushed myself hard. I am gonna move up in weight. I don't think I did 10, but I think I could have done 10.
Good evening.
Oh.
Good evening. The time is now 10 p.m. and XLC important to go out for closing.
Guys, you can hear how late this is. It's 10 p.m. I'll be real, I have no clue what they just said, but I'm guessing it's something about closing. So, I mean, I'll definitely be done before they actually close. You know, I would say I'm probably more than halfway done. Let me think here. Got one more forearm, one bicep, one more back, one more chest, and one more leg. So I'm about exactly halfway done, or actually a little more, because this would be my second tricep, which would be all my tricep work for today. So a little over half, but like barely. Also, for the people who've been wondering, where's the shorts content? I'm gonna be real. I find it really boring. First of all, to make it, I feel like there's a lot less personality when I'm lifting, or when I'm doing the shorts video. You know, I'm a lot more like, I get less authentic when I'm making the shorts. Secondly, it's highly edited, highly edited to my standard. You know, there's some YouTube videos that are more edited than the ones I make, or than the shorts that I make. But for me, it's much higher. It's like goes from like a 0 or a 1 to like a 5, which is big jump. And I feel like a lot of the shorts is more just me promoting my stuff than me giving my opinion. Now, I'm not going to say I'm not going to do shorts content anymore, because I don't think that's a good way to look at it. I think you should really, be open to stuff. Maybe I'll just approach it a little differently, make it a little bit more. It might be a little longer, it might be a little more personal, and maybe I'll only do one set of failure, because I don't know. I would have to think on it, but for the meantime, I'm not going to be doing some shorts content for definitely at least this week, next week. I don't know. I haven't thought that far. I reflect a lot more on my past than on the future. Mainly for the reason that I'm a little bit more scared of the future, like how I talked in the video where I was ranting. No, I don't like to think about that video often in terms of like the content I was talking about. But I think it was a very, very pivotal moment in my understanding of myself. I wouldn't say it was the most pivotal. There was I would say 2 experiences that were a little bit more influential to me than that. First one being me realizing I was 2 different people in high school, and then at home I was a lot more loud, a lot more outgoing at home, where when I'm at school, kind of in public, I'm very much reserved and kind of just sit in the corner. Which, to an extent I still do now. But I think that was the first time I really thought about who I was as a person. And I would say I kind of mix the 2 together now, to where I'm a little less talkative at my house, which I would say is probably more of a bad thing for my relationships there. But I'm a little bit more outgoing at school, which is good for my relationships in school. So, it's a win-loss. And then the second one, which I was actually talking about this earlier today with one of my friends, probably like, I don't know, hour and a half ago, is when I was at a bonfire with a bunch of family and family friends, and I had this one old guy talk about living life to the fullest. Now, I'll be real, I forgot his name at this point, but he really laid down some sense of how he kind of decided to do the things he wanted to do in life, understood that it's his life, and kind of made the best of it. I'm guessing he's still alive now. It was only 1 or 2 years ago. I want to say closer to 2-ish. Actually, definitely 2 years ago, because I missed my prom for this. I'm like that popular loner type. But yeah, that was a very pivotal moment. Actually, fun fact, I had a nightmare after that experience, where I felt like I was running away from a guy, and I got shot. And then as soon as I got shot, I woke up. Which is why I think kind of added to the pivotal moment for me. Because then I looked up the... I guess I would say I believe in like symbolism of dreams. And, I looked up if there's any meaning for me being shot in my dream. And what it said was that usually you have a new way of looking at life, or something like that. I don't know if that was the one-to-one what it said, but it was something like you're a different person, almost. Probably closer to the first thing that I said than the second, but it was something like that. And I think that kind of added to it, to me considering it a pivotal moment. But yeah, I would say those two are probably the biggest. And then that video, because I wouldn't have really considered shame, which was is something I'm really trying to work on now, being a little less ashamed of myself. But I wouldn't have considered shame as a thing that's causing some negativity towards me, mainly because I never really thought about shame. You know, I don't think of shame as an emotion, really. You know, it's like a niche emotion, I'd say. But I think that was a really pivotal moment for me, with mainly just this recording stuff. You know, I think I would be recording a lot less frequently out here if it wasn't for me making that video. Plus my mom's support, which, thank you, Mom. But I think both that video with what happened after I made that video and my mom being very supportive, you know, both of those really pushed me to get where I'm at right now, which, to be fair, isn't like super far. It's been 3 weeks, maybe. I don't know. But it hasn't been, I know for a fact it hasn't been a month. So, actually, maybe it's been a month. I might be lying. Because, like, what? Home gym video was more than a month ago. Yeah, so honestly, it might be a month at this point. It's going to be very close, like very, very to the wire. Probably like a 2 or 3 day range. But I would say it's definitely around there. So you know what? It's been a little further than I thought at first. But yeah, I think I have a lot more left in me. I think I have a lot more to talk about not in terms of today, but like as a YouTube career wise. I think I have a lot more to go through. I have a lot of life left in me. You know, I'm only 18. It's not like I'm, you know, old. You know, a lot of people say I'm old, and I low-key agree with them. I got uncans now, but, you know, I'm not like fucking dinosaur. I'm not gonna go extinct anytime soon. Well, I can't say that, you know, I could always die. But, you know, old age-wise, I'm not dying anytime soon of that. Anyways, you know what I might say. I'm not trying to say it, because I feel like I need to work on that. Get a good transition in. Going to the next failure set, 72.5 pounds. Tricep push down. If we get 10 or more than 10, we'll move it up for the next time we do it, which will be tomorrow. And then we'll go from there. This will probably also be the last recorded set of the day. All right. No. Okay. That's it for this video today. Like and subscribe if you're really liked it. And watch tomorrow's video when I make it. and I'll see you guys then.